Six my regular. I'm talking six for better.
Welcome back. Did y'all like our commercial? No.
Calm me down. No.
Calm me down.
Too much. Too soon.
Your mind is ate up. Cause why would you say that? Girl, what? Anyway, back to my story because what? Calm me down. That's funny. But back to what I was saying before the break. Dealing with my aunt and her transition in December.
Yeah.
It was a very rocky road, and I really couldn't, and I didn't want to make my friend also feel sad or because grief, I didn't know if that could bring up things in you, like, so you are automatically going to isolate yourself, or if you're feeling sad, you're going to like kind of disconnect from people because you don't want that energy to go on them. So I was kind of being cautious of that as well, but I knew like I needed to communicate this to somebody, but I just literally did not have the words to really communicate how I was feeling in that space. So I was I would say very cold, distant, not really in the mood to do anything. I wouldn't say I was a little mean. I was mean, and not mean in a, but it was a mean in a like, I'm good on all of this.
Yeah.
And what you got and what you're saying,
it don't matter.
I really
don't care.
I really don't care what you that nonchalant what we're saying. Like I'm not a mad person. If I get calm and
everybody be scared.
And it's just like here, like,
everybody.
Yeah,
be afraid.
I'm just,
Be afraid.
Yeah. But I was that way, and I can tell like it was bothering you, or you couldn't understand what was happening. Yeah. You would ask like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need something?" In the beginning, you was asking, and I was like, "No, I'm okay." Like, I did communicate like, this month is a little tricky for me, on top of more things that I was dealing with personally in my life, and that was just a lot, dealing with that and dealing with grief. It was like a lot happening, and I was just, I wouldn't say at my limit, but I was almost there.
Yeah.
I was almost there.
Yeah.
And I could tell that was frustrating my friend, and I think something was happening with you, and I couldn't really show up for you in a way. I think like you were dreaming some things, and we would usually talk about how you feel or dreams or whatever. Right. And I think I was just like, I don't have nothing. I don't have anything for you or for this conversation. Yeah. And I felt like I needed you, but like I said in the beginning, I didn't want to burden you. Yeah. And then I was unknowingly doing these things. So in my mind, I'm thinking that I'm okay, or I'm my same person, or like I'm going through day-to-day life as I would normally. So I'm trying to figure out like why she's so quiet, or why she cold, like what's wrong with her, and what's going on, why you not talking. And you're like, I am talking. Like, I was just so in the clouds of not knowing what was happening with me. And you said something, and was like, I've been here the whole time. Like, I was like, really? Like, have you? Yeah, like, and she was, but I just couldn't fathom what was happening. And we finally had that conversation of me really expressing what was happening or what was going on with me. And I think that's my biggest takeaway of that. Like, even though it's hard and you don't want to burden your friends, they are covenant friendships. Let's start there. People who are called to be in your life.
Yeah.
You don't have to shut down because they are there to carry the weight or carry what you have, you know, going on. So it's not a burden. And I didn't want to feel like I was being a burden or whatever was happening. So I think I was in that mind space too of not knowing what was happening with you. But that was just on that part. We still went through many transitions in the month of December. You know, December was really long.
50 days. And wow.
It was really long.
It was long to go by so fast, though.
It was very long to go by so fast. For sure. Absolutely.
Like, what?
Absolutely.
Wasn't it 90 days and 30 seconds?
It was really long. But that was just on that piece of us not connecting.
Yeah.
We were still disconnected in other places of our friendship too, I guess. Like, I have I'm dating someone, and
He's
that
the
is
He's the best.
that's a transition in your friendships.
Yeah.
Dating is a transition in your friendships. Wow, let's talk about that.
Here she go.
Come on.
And you go. You the one dating.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I felt while we had this conversation, like in the beginning, like we was all happy and you know go lucky, and it was like, oh sis, do the things, girl. You date,
Okay.
right? And then after a while, it became like, what is this? I felt like you weren't as happy in the beginning, in the middle or whatever, as you were in the beginning. And I was trying to understand that part as well. Like, is she not happy that I'm dating? Or like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, should I go to her? Like, I didn't feel, I'm not going to say I didn't feel safe, but it was, I wasn't comfortable, like, bringing these things up or, you know, trying to talk about what was happening in this new space that I'm in. And it was really hard. And I feel like there was it was a disconnect before we had that conversation of what was happening. So, yeah, how are you in that space of, like, how do you feel dating and friendships? Dating versus friendships, I guess.
Okay, two things. I'm disagreeing with what you said.
Okay.
I wasn't not happy. At the time that you started dating was the time that the disconnect became more apparent.
Gotcha.
So in order for me, like, it wasn't that I wasn't invested or I wasn't interested because I was still getting information.
Yeah.
However, I don't know how to approach you about it because you've been dry with me.
Gotcha.
With everything else.
Okay.
So how am I going to talk to you about this and you ain't had nothing for me?
That makes sense.
So let's start there. Her interpretation is her interpretation, but that is not the truth. Or it's not how I felt. I'm not going to say it's not true. It's not how I felt.
Yeah.
And so dating while being in a friendship, it's a possible thing.
Yeah.
I think it just needs to be a conversation, right? It needs to be had. Like, you need to say, like, oh, I need, or this is what's going on. I want to make sure that we're okay before I take on, not even before I take on, but like as I'm embarking on this new thing. Yeah. So even when it came to that, like, we had the conversation, we did. I think we didn't expect it to accelerate at the way that it did. Like, it is moving.
For me, it was really fast.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was moving faster than what we anticipated. But it wasn't something that was impossible. I think as a friend, you should always want to know how to better support your friend. Yeah. Especially when your friend is coming into something and it's a healthy thing, right? Yeah. And they're used to
it's a what?
Okay. Here she go.
It's a healthy thing.
Healthy thing.
Yes.
Yeah. But even just with that, still knowing how to support you because that's something new.
Yeah.
So making sure that you feel confident in this, making sure that you don't sabotage because this is something new, and you don't want to mess it up, but you sabotage it or you overthinking is gonna mess it up. And then as the friend who is watching this, because that's a thing, I think you have to be resolved in yourself and in your friendship that yes, someone new is coming in, but they're not the enemy.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes friends can date, or you can go and you can be in a relationship, and then the significant other begins to take up the time that you spent with your friend, and you can start to view them as the enemy. Yeah. Like, no, they're not the enemy.
Yeah.
Your friend is building something with somebody else, and if you are happy for your friend, it doesn't mean that you can't be sad. It doesn't mean that you can't, like, miss them or miss the time that y'all would spend. But it also doesn't mean that you need to, like, be vindictive or be malicious or be bitter. Or be like silently begrudging. Yeah. Because what?
I mean, because that's the thing, and that's the thing in a lot of friendships. Yeah. And I think we had this conversation a long time ago of like,
that'd be weird.
People would think it's a jealousy problem or an issue, or sometimes it just be needing a conversation. Like, yo, this is what's happening. Yeah. And this is how I'm feeling, and listen to your friends because, and don't listen to it in a jealous mindset or whatever,
or like just don't hear it from the place of an ending.
Yeah,
like make sure that you're hearing it from the place of support, because sometimes we can hear stuff and we can hear it from the emotion that we're already feeling, so then it doesn't filter through correctly because there's already an issue with the way that we're hearing it. There's already an issue with the way that we're perceiving it. So if I perceive it wrong, then I'm going to process it wrong. But if I perceive it correctly, then I'm going to process it correctly. I think as well for me, because it's not just you that's my friend. Yeah. It's him as well. But I think for me, it was making sure that you still felt safe and that you did feel comfortable to discuss if something did happen or something that was new that you had never experienced. Like, how do you feel about this? What do you think about this? And I think even as friends, watching your friends date, it's okay to ask those types of questions. Yeah. Because, again, not just you want your friend to feel safe, but you want to make sure that your friend is understanding and that they're processing what's happening in their life. Like, I don't want you to be in this space and then you miss out on some really good moments just simply because you're not taking the time to stop and enjoy. Yeah. To stop and view, to stop and smell the flowers. I want to make sure, like, as you're progressing, okay, cool, how does this make you feel? Okay, great. What do you think about this? Or when this happened, what came to mind? Yeah. So just asking the right questions as it relates to what your friend is doing, but then again, being resolved in yourself. Like, this is my friend, and my friend isn't going anywhere. Life is changing and life is happening, and I'm grateful to witness it firsthand. Yeah. But because life is happening for them, it doesn't mean that life is still not happening for me. Yeah. So let me not get caught up in us not spending time. Yeah. Let me focus and let me reevaluate what I need to do, what I need to be putting my hands to, what requires my attention, what requires my energy. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. But it's not even like far as dating, like new friendships has involved in this relationship. Well, in our friendship since we've been, in this space with each other, and I can sometimes I felt rocky, like, oh wait, my friend got a new friend. Hold on,
Bull shouldn't even like people.
Hold on, my friend got a new friend, and I don't know how to feel about that. But
Bull shouldn't even like people. Why you going out with them?
Yeah, it be making you feel like, I don't like. But I had to resolve in myself that, like, she has a new friend or people are coming in to support. she's not going nowhere, or our relationship is not changing just because, you know, more people are being added into our circle or into our lives individually. So, you know, just like you said, like being resolved within yourself and within your friendships, like they are not, you know, leaving us or, you know, evolve.
And I think too, we talked about this way before we got into this present time. Like, we always made it a point to make sure that we were grounded and our foundation was sure, because we knew at some point things were going to change. We knew at some point people was going to come in. We knew at some point we were going to start dating. And it was making sure that we didn't have to do the damage control on the back end. Like, if we made sure that the foundation was clear from the jump, or set and solid from the jump, then whatever we build on this is going to last, because we are already on the same page. So
that's good. I love that. But now, so how do you feel now that we're in this space of newness with us? Like, how do you feel? Are you still unsure about something? You really love to upset me.
Yes.
Are you, like, unsure about some things, or, like, how do you feel about our dynamic now as we're standing, well, sitting? We're not standing.
Here she go.
We're sitting.
I think I do have my moments where I just be like,
what are the moments?
Future. What does that look like? And I think for me, it's because I'm a future-minded, future-focused person. So I have to, in those moments, make myself live in the present. Because if I harp on the future, then I will send myself into some kind of rabbit hole. And nobody has time for that. And then, like, of course, I do have my moments where I just be like, my sister's really dating. Like, I have my moments, you know what I mean, where I'm extremely happy and I get overjoyed. And then it's just those moments where I reflect on my own life. Like, okay, cool. This is happening for them. This is happening for them. This is happening for them. And it's not that life is not happening for me. It's at the pace that life is happening for me. So part of the transition that I had was resolving that my life is built on the scenic route. So I don't have the luxury of quick fixes or quick results. Like, everything that I do, it's a process, it's a formula, it's a method. It takes work, it takes examples, it takes going back to the drawing board. And when I came to that realization, it was like a sigh of relief, but then it was instant irritation. Because what? Blankety blank. And then it was more so the why. Like, why is my life built like this? Why can't I not do what my peers and my contemporaries do, but, like, why do I have to always take the back roads? Why can't I take the main streets of life? And while I'm having that conversation with the Lord, I started dreaming very, very vividly. Well, yeah, I dream vividly all the time, so let me not lie.
My God, she does.
It is real vivid. Like, I can tell you colors, outfits, if your hair was messed up, if you had baby hairs, I can tell you all that.
Not the baby hairs.
I'm just saying, like, it's very detailed. So because of that, that's not something that I'm not used to. I think more so this go around, I started dreaming how other people were feeling and what was happening in their hearts. And it wasn't people that I didn't know. Like, I dream about people that I know often, but people that I know from a distance. People that I know where, if however they felt, it wouldn't directly affect me. But this go around, it was dreaming about people that I do life with. Like, people that I can reach out and touch. People that I can pick up the phone and call. And it wasn't necessarily just how they felt, but it was how they felt about me and didn't say anything to me. But they were having conversations with other people about me. So I had to work through that in my own heart because it wasn't making sense, and my natural response was to be very much so like,
done.
Meet me outside. Meet me outside.
Not meet me outside. All my Rough Riders.
Very much so like,
Oh, Father.
what was that you was saying?
Wow.
So, because of that, I had to take time, and I had to really center and focus my own heart and understand that it wasn't what I knew wasn't to hurt me. Yeah. It was very much so to prepare me. And in my conversation with the Lord, so simple, but so like,
because that's how the Lord be.
We were talking. I was like, God, I don't understand. Like, why couldn't they say something to me? Why couldn't they address me? Like, I'm not unapproachable. I'm very serious. Like, I like to laugh and I like to joke, but like, don't play with me. But I'm still approachable. Like, if you want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. And the Lord simply said, like, I didn't show you this for you to throw them away. I showed you this for you to pray for them. And then he said, but how many times have you been apart from me in your heart? But your mouth is saying something different. And I never turned you away. I never walked away from you. I never not loved you. I never not provided for you. I never not supported you. And I was like, okay.
Because that's the thing.
You ain't got to run the roll on me.
That's the thing, though.
It is.
It's the thing.
But it was in the way that he said it,
Yeah.
which was very much so like, extend grace.
Yeah.
Extend mercy. Extend love because they still need it. Like, I still loved you when you wasn't loving on me. I still loved you when you weren't thinking about me.
Yeah.
I still loved you when you weren't choosing me.
Yeah.
Love them.
The same way.
Think about them. Choose them.
God.
Forgive them. And I forgave you knowing that you were going to go back to the very thing that you came to me about in the first place. And I was just like, you know what, guys? Sometimes I just like for you to be on my side.
Nah, because this
Whoa, peace. But again, in my human nature, of course, first response was to be confrontational.
Absolutely.
It was to protect myself. However, it didn't make sense for me to do that.
But that's so good to where we can just quiet ourselves and not pick rage first, because we can pick rage first.
Any day of the week.
Pick rage
Twice on Sundays.
first, and we'll think about the consequences later. But the fact that we can settle ourselves and go into a place of meditation and really talk to the Lord about how we really feel and not like fake feeling, because I'm going to talk to the Lord and it's going to be about how I really feel. Like, Lord, I don't like this, and please. Because what?
Come get your kids, G.
Because that's how I'm talking. What?
Come get your kids, G.
Yeah, they down here tripping.
Parent pick up.
They down, but it's beautiful that we can go into that space of meditation and really hear from the Lord about what next steps, or how can we process this correctly or in a healthy way and not pick our emotions first. Yeah. And so
that's where the disconnect came on my end. Because I couldn't talk to you. Because I couldn't tell you what was happening. And I couldn't share. And it wasn't that I didn't want to. It just was quite simply like this isn't me and God thing. Yeah. And I know it's hard sometimes, because when you best friends, you tell your best friend everything. Like, what's the secret to your best friend? Nothing. Yeah. Like, if you tell me, like, oh, don't tell nobody, I got you. But she don't. She's a part of me. So, like, you mean, like, don't tell nobody outside of. Okay, cool, G, I got you. Hollering. But that's the reality. Like, I couldn't tell you, and it wasn't that I didn't want to. I just quite literally could not. That was my instruction. I couldn't tell you. Yeah. And it bothered me because you were fishing for information.
I was.
And I was like,
fishing, my God.
Girl, leave it alone.
I'm like, girl, what? Who did it?
Leave it alone.
Who did it and why?
Leave it alone.
You was telling me to leave it alone. And I was like, and another thing. He was like, please, can we move on from this conversation?
I feel like you just...
but another thing.
Okay, talk about you, right?
Yeah, circle back to what you said.
Yeah, but so that was the disconnect. And then even just about the dreams, like, I couldn't tell you all of what was happening in my dreams, and that was a first.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been able to tell you what was going on. And then I couldn't tell you. And it's not even that I couldn't tell you. At one point, I just didn't feel comfortable to tell you. Because I just didn't know how we were going to, what that was going to look like. Mm-hmm. Like, if I bared my feelings and my soul to you, like, don't meet me with no brick wall.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to blow that mug up.
Yeah, but I feel like we came to the resolve of that. Mm-hmm. Like, we were missing each other in information. Like, you felt like I was in a stage of brick wall or whatever, and I felt like I was getting hit with a brick wall too, because I was hitting you with a brick wall. So that was kind of the disconnect of like, we're feeling the same way about each other, but it's kind of like we're not having this conversation the correct way, or we're missing something in the way of it. So we're getting there. We're good.
Yeah, we're much better.
We're good. I'm definitely in a better space, and I had time to really pray and go into meditation the whole month of December, and that kind of really helped me. Another part of the reason why I was kind of silent as well, because I had a assignment, and it was a pretty heavy assignment.
Oh my God!
But you
made it.
I made it. My God! But we really resolved in that, and that's just the takeaway of friendships, like having that conversation and being open. Although it be hard, or you don't understand what is happening, and don't just throw it away and just be like, all right, well, I tried to have a conversation, and you don't want to have a conversation with me, so this whole thing is done. Like, be patient. It takes patience. It takes patience. Y'all be out here forgiving these dudes
1,000 times.
1,000 times over. Forgive y'all friends. Thanks. It's 2023. Let's do better. Yeah. But thank y'all so much for coming into the conversation with Friendship Rehab.
This be getting a little heavy.
It do be getting heavy, and it's just gonna get even heavier as the time go on. We're gonna see y'all in episode 4. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe yet again, and share with us what was your favorite part. What did you take away? What did you learn from? What did you know?
What did you identify with?
Yeah, be transparent with us in the comments. Amen. We gonna be looking. So I am Kia Nicole.
Ooh,
I thought you said your name first. I am Kia Nicole.
Ow.
And
I'm Brianna Marie.
This is Friendship Rehab. We will see y'all in episode 4.